Hello, today for day 14, we are going to take an adventure to myaccount.google.com. We're going to see what we can find in there. So your school Google account partly is managed by, is managed by the district, but there are some things that you can check on and change your password when you go into myaccount.google.com. So I'm going to go ahead and type in myaccount.google.com, hit enter, and then it brings to this web page. I find that Google tends to switch this web page around a lot. And so anytime I want to find anything, I usually just search for it because it changes all the time. But I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the things that you can see in here. If ever you are going to be leaving the district or you want to transfer your content, you can transfer your content here to a personal Google account. We have privacy and personalization, and we're going to take a step into there. So right here, it's going to have some privacy suggestions for you. You can click on that, and it's going to give you some different things that you can go through and decide if they work for you or not. I've got YouTube history turned on, so YouTube can tell me what I like. I'm going to click back out of there. It's pretty boring. But there are some other things that I do want to point out. You can see the things that you've searched for if you need to. If location is turned on, it will show where you've been. For this account, it's going to show that I've been exactly right here in this room for a very long time. It's going to be a big dot. It'll take you to your Google dashboard. It'll show you your storage. And then remember that you have unlimited storage with your school account, so you don't need to worry about that. There's also different stuff. You can scroll down here if you needed to change your language, you could. If you wanted to have some of the accessibility features turned on, you can. And then keep scrolling down to all the other stuff. Just a good idea to just go through there and kind of see what's going on. Make sure everything looks the way you want. So one of the other things I want to point out is under security here, you can turn on, so it'll show you your password when it was last changed. So if you need to change your password, you can. But the other thing that's down here is it'll say your devices, and it'll show what devices you are actually logged into in this account right now. So right now I see that I'm logged on the Mac on this device, and then I see that Jed Snell is logged in on an iPad. And so we have some questions to ask about this. What? Actually, I'm not concerned about this because this is one, Jed, and two, also it could be this account just happens to be on his old Chromebook or iPad. It'll also show I'm logged into a Chromebook and one more device. Let's see what it is. An iPad. Ooh, interesting. Now, if you see any devices on here that you are not currently using, like for example, I have not been in this Chromebook for 159 days, so I can go ahead and sign out of that device. If you think it's a device, but don't freak out. Like, it's quite possible that you signed into your account on somebody else's computer or somewhere else, and then that's that. But it's always a good idea to just check and see, where am I signed into? Is that what I want? And sign out of the ones that you are not using right now. Particularly if you got a new phone or you got a new computer, you might still be signed in. Other things to not freak out about. Sometimes, right now, it doesn't say it right now. It says I'm in California, which is actually a true statement. I live in Apple Valley, but a lot of times when I come in here, it'll say Hesperia. I'm not in Hesperia. I'm in Apple Valley, but I don't know. I guess Google gets confused about that too. So as long as it's close, there's nothing to be freaked out about here. This is just a good idea to kind of go through and be like, oh yeah, why is this signed in? I'm not going to sign this out because what if somebody's using this? Okay, let me just get back here. There's also these third-party apps with account access. So if you've been doing a lot of different trying things out, you can go through here and make sure that these are all things that you want. I think you'll find that most of them are the ones that you are using. But if there's something you're not using anymore and you want to get rid of it, you can. This will also show everything that you use to log into Google. So I can see all the things I use to log into Google and then other Google apps that have access to my account. So these are all normal things. It's just a good idea to go through and double check that it meets your life the way you are right now, because maybe it did a few years ago, but not anymore. Oh, last thing, if you do ever want to change your password, I find it easiest just to come up here to change password. You do have to know your current password in order to change your password, so it's not going to reset your password if you've forgotten your password, but you can change your password if for some reason you think that your account needs to have the password changed. And this is just for your Google account, not for the login that you use to log into the computer.